All right, everybody, welcome back to After Hours. I am here with my special guest, Hawk T. Poet. Nice to have you on the show, man.
Hey, how you doing, John?
All right, so it's been a long time coming. I swear, I think we've been texting each other like 500 times, to get you on the show. But we finally got you here. And you're coming from where? Bridgeport?
I came from Hartford.
Hartford. Okay. Yeah, I come from West Hartford. That's like about a 40-minute drive or something like that.
You drive here to come to do the show?
No, no, no. I live on campus. I'm a student
That's where
here.
you're from. No, I'm from North Carolina originally.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from North
Okay.
Carolina. Yeah.
And now is that in the South?
It is.
Okay. And how is it compared to Connecticut?
Um, I've moved around a lot during my life, so I guess me and how I am. It's another place to live, and that's a good thing.
Okay.
To be able to live wherever you go. It's not always easy, but just to live. So I can't really say I can compare because I've lived a lot of different places.
Okay.
And it's been said and it'll be said again until time stops. People are people wherever you go.
Okay. And what other places have you lived in, if I may ask?
Just mainly the South, just kind of all around
South.
the South.
Okay.
And traveled some different places as
Now,
well.
I hear the weather there could be brutal as far as the heat. Is that true?
Yeah, it's very much so. I mean, Florida can be brutal, but Vegas is the dry heat there.
Nice.
I love the dry heat there, and definitely looking forward to moving some places and going some places around the world as well and checking out their weather. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, people are people wherever you go. I've been fortunate to meet a lot of different people.
Okay.
Just moving around, literally.
Now, you mentioned Vegas. I mean, that's basically the heaven for show business.
I just went there just to hang out. Now that was just to.
Oh, it's just to
hang
get
out. No, I didn't live in Vegas.
just to get the Vegas experience. Well, even so, I like the communication department. They usually sponsor a trip every year to go to the broadcasters conference.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, in Vegas. And the thing is, I know, right? And the thing is, like, I was a communication major for a while, but I switched to theaters because it made sense. I used to go to school for theater, and I just figured, all right, save myself some money, graduate sooner. So it's affecting, me going to Vegas, and I really want to go because, with all the show business stuff, and of course all the alcohol, all the nice women, it's just everything. Describe to me your Vegas experience, and I mean, does it live up to the traditional Vegas experience of lights and what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? Like, what's going on there?
I can't say it lives up to what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can say that. It's about choices, about things that you decide to do or you're able to, I guess, get into without blowing a whole bunch of money. A lot of things, believe it or not, in life, you don't have to blow a whole bunch of money.
Now, have you done that?
I can't say I've really ever blown a whole bunch of money.
And that's all right because a lot of people go to Vegas.
In my own ways, I guess, buying stuff, I have blown a whole bunch of money over life. I'm here right now. I had to buy a car and phone, and I have a kid, my son. Love my son, Justice. I love you.
Oh, shout out to Justin.
Justice.
Oh, Justice. Sorry about that.
Just why I can never get tired of stopping and saying that. But I've blown a lot of money. I have a kid.
I bet kids are very expensive. And how old is Justice?
He's 9. He'll be 9 this year.
9.
Yeah.
And I love Justice because it has a very courtly presence to it. Kind of like, justice, the law, like very professional, order. Is that why you chose the name, or what makes you think of Justice?
Oh, wow. You want me to tell the name story?
Oh, is it a really long story?
There's actually a story with that, and
okay.
It goes with I've told a few people, so I guess I'll say it on air.
All right.
I was riding through a drive-through, and I knew that I probably wasn't going to pick the name, so I picked 3 kind of BS names the night before.
All right.
And
what kind of names?
Through, I don't even remember the names I came up with.
Yeah, was that long ago?
It was, but I don't even remember because honestly, I just made them up because I knew she hinted that she may put my name because I don't want him to be a junior, but I just want him to have a part of my name in one of the names she chose.
All right.
So I threw something out there. She said, "You go first." I knew she was going to do that.
Okay.
I went first, threw some BS out there. She didn't like it. I knew it. I'm like, oh, I acted like, hell, come on.
Yeah. Like, I know something.
So I heard the first name. I was like, nah, I disagree with that one. She disagreed with that one.
Yeah.
So I had to pass on that one. I could disagree with that one. So I went for another one, BS. And
just a pool full of BS.
And then she said her second choice was Warren Justice.
Okay.
Which brings me to the big, hoop-de-doo and emotional ride that it was for me that day when she said Warren Justice, and to sit there through the C-section and everything, and there was no throwing up. There was a lot of laughter. Yeah, it would take the other person that was there, the mother of my child, to tell you that I tell no lie. And we laughed at the nurse who came up and said, "Sir, if you feel queasy or you need to vomit," and we both looked at each other and we bust out laughing hysterically. She was drugged up. She was doped up. She couldn't feel anything because they were about to do a C-section on her.
Yeah, that's logical.
She laughed a lot.
Okay.
And again, only she could tell you that she laughed a lot. Not just a little bit, a lot. They were worried about her because she had turned colors because she was laughing so much because, what the epidural had her just...
Wow.
Yeah. And
so she was practically a Rambo like the whole time.
Yeah, we were making jokes the whole time.
Yeah.
And I'm watching him being cut out. Literally.
All right.
Literally. This is how it went down.
You're there.
And
You're right there.
Watched him being, from the time they put the scalpel down on her stomach, anybody who's a medical mate, and they just cut across, and everything spilled out, and then they pulled out a baby. And he was so light. I was, whose white baby is that? Because he was so light. It's like, who's white? She laughed even harder then. She was she's funny as all get out. And I was cracking jokes, and she laughed even harder because she had finally gotten quiet for a second. The nurse was sitting there patting her head, just hoping. The nurse is steady looking at the monitor like, oh my gosh, I hope this lady does not freaking die. They're crazy. What is wrong with these people?
Yeah.
And then they cut. I tried to walk around there. They were like, no, because I wanted to cut the umbilical cord. C-section. You can, it's dirty. Bacteria and whatever. And and I yelled touchdown.
Wow. I mean, I would be squeamish. I wouldn't be able to take what you just did. So no. I applaud you for being able to go through that.
There's nothing when you, I guess, that was nothing compared to, I guess, some of the things that we went through in order for him to get here. That was nothing.
All right.
And I don't say that like, oh, I'm such a... I get squeamish at certain things. I don't know. I've seen a lot of different things. That just wasn't one of the things that made me squeamish. Okay. I'm sure if it was another woman, I probably would have got squeamish.
All right. But since it was...
I won't go into a big long story of when I was, when I was 8, 9, and 10, they had on TV, they would show... especially on cable, they would show the operations. I would sit there and watch them. Yeah. I used to watch the knee surgeries and stuff like that. So I have watched and I've seen a lot of those things. So it wasn't really something that I was like, oh, I've never seen this before. Yeah. I watched a lot of that all the time. A lot of people did. Some people, I know plenty of people that would, hey, you see the surgery on this? It was so gross. Yeah.
Wow.
I think the grossest thing I saw was they were removing a cyst from a woman. That was, it was gross. Pus came out, because it was yellow and they had to suck it out. She had a cyst somewhere and they were operating. They opened up on her and they were sucking it out and everything. It was nasty. It was just nasty yellow. It was just nasty yellow.
Oh my God.
And stuff, and they're sucking it out and cleaning it, sucking it out,
Oh,
and they're talking and it's right here and yeah. Okay, and she's, right. And, and they're talking, they're calling it play for play, like...
Yeah. See, I really don't know what a cyst is, but by the way you describe it, I don't want to know what it is. It just seems like this disgusting tumor-like thing. But anyway, so you have a son, you have a great wife. Congratulations on that.
I don't have a wife.
Oh, you don't?
I have a wife. No.
Oh, is that your girlfriend?
She's the mother.
Oh, mother of your child. Okay, that's understandable because there are a lot of people who go that direction. So... As far as your poetry, how long have you been doing it?
I've been writing poetry for, I guess, a long time, like anybody honestly would say. I've been writing since I was 3, I've been rapping, freestyling. If any of my friends were here, they would tell you that I used to be the guy that would just actually beatbox for them a lot.
Nice.
And I really wasn't the lyricist, really.
Mm-hmm.
I would write. I've always written during my life. But I think it was when I needed to, I guess, get some therapy from what I was experiencing with the mother of my child. Okay. So I've been writing school stories, everything. Everybody writes in some way. uh, and actually had never really performed any poetry um, until about 9 years ago.
9
Probably
years.
before
Okay.
that, 10 years ago.
How old are you, if I may ask?
35.
35. Okay.
Yeah. So everybody knows out there.
All right. So when you were like 27, you start to perform.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, 26, 25. 25 is when I actually started to perform.
So you've been writing your poetry your whole life, but
Yeah.
it wasn't until 27 where you actually
started to perform.
got the courage to perform.
I wouldn't even courage. I mean, performing for your friends and stuff like that is not actually on stage. Being on stage is doing fashion shows, emceeing shows. I had emceed shows.
Okay.
I've been emceeing and doing things like that in the club, DJing, stuff like that. But I didn't ever perform as Hawk T. Poet until I was 25 years old. He was not created until I was 25.
And how would you define Hawk T. Poet as far as the language, the topics, just the whole look of your poetry? Well,
anything goes.
Okay.
Anything goes. Anything goes. And I try to, and I would like to, not, succeed in writing something and performing something that people can enjoy, even if they may dislike the subject that I'm speaking on. But people like to be entertained. You have 3 seconds, really. And so you hope that all the things that you write with your heart and your soul, that people will like it and receive it. I understand the whole bit of you have to like it too, and it has to come from your soul. It does come from my soul. But it also comes from a part of me that wants people to enjoy what I wrote. So
have you had any instances where you have offended or shocked or outraged people with your poetry?
I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Because you performed in many public forums
yes.
at this point?
Yes.
Okay. What type of places have you performed?
I've been to Colorado, Atlanta, North Carolina.
Now, are you are you in a very intimate club setting or stadiums?
Very intimate club settings.
Okay.
I think the biggest show that I did was Passion and Poetry back in Atlanta.
Okay.
Where it was that place held 3,000 people. It's a very nice show. I did 2 of them. That was a lot of fun. 3 million people knew who I was for about 6 months.
Wow.
That was a lot of fun.
That's pretty spectacular.
It was fun. It was fun, and I'm continuing to have fun now. And I definitely enjoy life. I think that if I would have kept myself going, but life and just other things in general, sometimes you use that as an excuse or some type of barrier to stop you. So I stopped in my own tracks, and as of recent, I've just been back. Been fortunate to do a lot of different projects, have a lot of different projects coming up, and just very fortunate. So Hawk T. Poet likes to write all types of things. I've been in many different forums. I guess I'm not a I've been here. It's kind of like when you see me, you'll know I was there.
Okay.
If you didn't hear me, cool. If you did, you know I was there. You know my name. I've been a lot of different places. I mean, New York, just like a lot of different people, they've been all around,
What types of people have you encountered?
All kinds.
All kinds.
I would give all these broad.
I'm trying to figure out, important contacts as far as your poetry, or just real life people going through real life experiences, just
people always going through real life experiences.
Yeah.
No matter what, you come you. Go
I guess what I mean is struggles. Just
definitely
anything that may inspire you to write a poem based on that.
I think that I get inspired by so many different things. I mean, literally, like a lot of people say, the wind could be blowing, and all of a sudden you're inspired. I think a friend of mine, and I can't do this piece on air, but it's a police brutality piece, but I can't do it on air. But I wrote it just off somebody telling me, they would explain to me, and I've had my own experiences, but just their particular experience at the particular time that we were talking about it, even though I've had a similar experience, when he said it, it just spurred me to just start writing that piece, and it's a popular piece. Haven't recorded it yet, and not too many people have heard it, but the people that have heard it seem to like it.
Okay.
And I'm happy with that.
Now, if I may, can I hear your opinion on police brutality? Because, and this is how narrow-minded I am, because I basically lived. I mean, I grew up in suburbia. You know, I just grew up in a small town in Connecticut.
Nothing wrong with that.
All my life, and yeah, not saying that there's anything wrong with that. But you know, where you grow up tends to affect how you think and what you perceive. Things such as racism, police uh, police brutality, drugs, all that stuff. You don't get exposed to it as much. I mean, you do get exposed to it through the history books, but you don't tend to see it as something that's like happening right now. You know, you tend to see it as more of a past tense thing. Police brutality. When I think of police brutality, I think like 1950s, 1960s, civil rights era.
Real police brutality. Not to say that police brutality now, but that was just
Yeah. You know, anywhere in like the Compton, Los Angeles area, like you know around the 80s, 90s, you know around the NWA period. That's what I think of when I think police brutality. You know that Rodney King, you know, period where there was like race riots and stuff like that. That's what I think. So I just wanted to know, just as someone who is not exposed to that on a regular basis, police brutality, racism, all that stuff, is it still happening today?
always.
Okay. Is it? I mean, have you seen it like recently, like as
Racism, even though I'm about to, even though it does not necessarily, can't say that about your someone in the same color, but I'll use it in, I'll be metaphoric.
okay?
Racism comes in every color, and it can be someone of your own color, I guess. Color. So, racism comes in so many different forms. So I've experienced it in so many different forms, and obviously there's other words for to not just use racism, but it is something that I think anyone and everyone should hope will die, like division. But those are things that's the ultimate impossible dream, because then we wouldn't have money. So anyway, moving along.
That's right. I mean, it's your opinion. So it does happen today. Do you touch upon it a lot in your poetry?
I think that the police brutality piece is another piece that I definitely wrote for a great overall view in a 3 minute time, in a 3 minute span of what to me goes on still in the minds of some of these gentlemen that are deciding to be how they are and treat people how they do. And that's what that piece attempts to do. It's actually it's sick. It is. It's very sick. People laugh at it because I do it I do it with a satire, you know, obviously. And about halfway through the piece, I notice people always stop laughing as much, but they can't help but still laugh at some of the things I'm saying because it's punchline after punchline. That's how I wrote it. I was hoping that at least.
Okay.
You know, it was like, okay, it worked. Some parts are kind of dry and others been and for the most part, I was happy. But it's a very serious piece, and it to me goes inside the mind of somebody who actually thinks that way.
Now, have you gone through police brutality? Can I ask that?
Well,
I mean, if you have, that's fine. You don't have to give specifics. I'm curious.
I was actually about to make a joke. I was about to say.
I mean, look, do whatever you want. I mean, it's your voice, not mine.
Well, your skin has melanin in it, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, I've been like anybody pulled over for no reason. The way that you're questioned when you're walking down the street, if you're stopped, just anything. You could just be minding your business and they're looking at you, wondering sometimes. But at the same time, I don't think I keep my mind on things like that. I try and ignore a lot of things as much as possible, but you know that things are around. So I guess I would say be as polite as possible and hope that Jimbo is not in the mood to drag anything behind his squad car that night, because there are still some places in the United States of America where people operate like that.
Okay.
Anyway.
Now, being from Hartford, does that happen often in Hartford?
there's a lot of different cases and there's a lot of different things, and it goes both ways. There are things that we all shouldn't be doing at certain times. Anybody, that's anybody of any color. And then there are times where, again, someone, again, even of the same color, officers come in many colors, can just honestly overdo it, in my opinion. And then there are times where they are completely correct. And then there's times where it's just, you really didn't even have to do all that, but you just made a decision. Some of the things that you see on YouTube are amazing. I mean, just listening to me talk doesn't even show you. Now it's the world today. You can just see it. Yeah. You're sitting there watching YouTube. You're like, wow.
It's overwhelming.
Like, really?
Yeah.
Wow. But there's also the other side to that, too. Yeah. The other side to that is there are people out there that are trying to live, because we all are, quote unquote. Decent is just a word, seriously. And then there are those, and they come in every color. Everyone seems to think if you're a certain color, then that makes you better. Sometimes everybody has to come from up under that guise, or if you believe in a certain thing, that you're better. I think starting there helps out a lot. Then there are those who just act crazy and wild, and honestly, they're just as crazy and wild as the cops that commit police brutality, and they're committed brutality to each other without the cops even being there. So,
yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, it's amazing how you can make because I mean, you say you like to make light of a lot of often serious topics. So I think that's highly admirable, because there are a lot of people that could say, "Oh, that's not really so funny. That's something's that should be kept under wraps." And then there are other people that say,
See, here's the thing.
Laughter is the best medicine.
The thing about, I think, spoken word also as well is it's performance. So if I were to just get up there and tell you the stories of everybody, it wouldn't be as profound. But to spin it in that way gives it a whole nother depth. Because that you're not just spinning it from the point of you're angry. Obviously, I'm angry about it. You're spinning it from the point of this sick, demented person who actually thinks that way.
Okay.
And it gives the crowd this. I like when it's on me then to perform it properly.
Okay.
So that it comes across and it's conveyed properly, because it's more than just words on the paper. It has to be conveyed properly. When I convey it properly, I do like to see the certain looks in people's eyes if it was conveyed properly, and it's like I didn't know whether to laugh or like I felt uneasy, but I love what you did with it, and I appreciate that. I say all that to say I appreciate that. I can talk about that for another hour. I sincerely appreciate when anybody comes up to me and it's like, I like that, man. I appreciate that anytime, any day. I appreciate it, and they mean it sincerely. I appreciate it.
Wow. Now, where do you plan? I mean, what's your journey like as far as poetry is concerned? Where do you see yourself in like the next 10 or 20 years with this? Do you not mind continuing the way you are, where you're performing in clubs, where you're really getting the message out there to people in an intimate fashion, or do you see yourself going higher and higher and higher? Maybe television, or doing something like this, radio. You have the voice for it. What do you see yourself doing in the next 10 or 20 years? Just curious.
More movies.
More movies. Oh, nice.
More movies.
Do you really aspire to be a movie star?
The movie Love Unconditional, I got to see it on the big screen there. I never thought I would actually go into a movie theater and see myself, but I went to a movie theater. They showed it inside of a movie theater. We had premiered it twice. Hopefully the DVD will be out soon. The next two parts, I'll be in a short film, Till Death Do Us Part. It's kind of odd, like the things that I write about. I'll be playing the part of a murderer, and the piece that I'll be doing tonight that speaks about my sister. I'll be playing the part of a murderer. His name is Marcus Daughtry, and Till Death Do Us Part. Will Mobley, look him up on Facebook. He's doing that project.
Wow.
There was another project that I just got finished reading for that will be shot here in Hartford. It tells the story of Black, about a drug dealer, and I'm just reading for it, so I don't have the part. But that's all I can say, because that's that person's story. So I read Fred. Um, it's a brutal story. That's a brutal story. So hopefully it's conveyed properly. Like I said, the DVD for Love Unconditional, so people can actually see what I can do as well. So to answer your question, I see myself acting a lot more and being in more movies.
Nice.
To say I would like to be here or there, no, I'm just going to say I would like to continue doing what I'm doing and excel and reach whatever precipice or mountaintop is there for me.
Well spoken. I wish you the best of luck with that. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a quick song break. When we come back, we're gonna have your piece performed, and I think I may want to ask you a question or more about acting, because I know you're involved with the Actors Gym with Reno Vantori, who I actually interviewed a while ago on television. So I probably want to ask you a little bit more about that. Stay tuned, everybody. Once again, if you have any requests or if you have any opinion on what has been said with me and Hawk T, please feel free to call in 860-456-2164. Once again, that's 860-456-2164 or facebook.com/JFRA91. I'll take a response either way. Really, it doesn't matter. All right, so we'll play Time Stretch. Actually, we'll play a very short song, very very short song, because I really do want to get back to this discussion. Let's see. How about "I Wish" by Stevie Wonder? Are you a fan of Stevie Wonder?
Of course.
Okay, cool. All right, so we'll play that, and we'll be right back with Hot Tea Poet. It's After Hours, everybody. Stay tuned. And thanks so much for being on, man.
No doubt.